At this time, we continue receiving Kriyat Torah with the service for the reading of the Torah, which begins in our prayer books on page 362. I'd like to ask Ali Shapiro to come forward as he's going to be opening the Yom HaKodesh, the art for us this morning, and then I'd like to invite Freda Shapiro, Irving and Myra Mendes, Jared, and Julie Shapiro to come forward as they will be passing the Torah to Jonathan. not found in your prayer book?
Avinu Malkeinu. Bless our family with peace. Teach us to appreciate the treasure of our lives. Help us always to find contentment in one another. Save us from dissension and jealousy. Shield us from pettiness and rivalry. May selfish pride not divide us. May pride in one another unite us. Help us to renew our love for one another continually. In the light of your Torah, grant us, the people, Israel, and all your creatures everywhere, health and fulfillment, harmony, peace, and joy. Amen.
Amen. Jonathan's now going to lead us in the Shema, page 366 in your prayer books. As Jonathan approaches the ark, I'd like to ask Brad, Hannah, and Noah, and Josh Shapiro to please come up with him to help them with undressing the Torah. while since his wife and the rest of the family is here, we want to offer our special prayers for him along with others. You'll turn in your prayer books to page 371. After I read the prayer that I do, and I'll read the names that I've been asked to read, I will look around the congregation. If you have any other names that you would like to add to our prayers this morning, you can do so. You can offer their names out loud or silently, and then we will sing together the Yisrael prayer in Hebrew English that is in the indent part in the middle of the page. God, in our hearts, we name those who are facing illness and pain, and we join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. This morning we read the names of Cynthia Barron, Lindsay Baxter, Shep Bennett, Terry Bennett, Abby Binder, Leslie Dahlgren, Melissa Davidson, Ellen Dickler, Michelle Dean, Deborah Delina, Kiki Durgan, Sandy Foreman, Kathy George, Sandy Gerber, Katie Gackman, Linda Gluck, Peter Andrew Brecken, Katie Goldberg, Rochelle Aronson Grobstein, Kim Harden, Peter Kingsley, Robert Langley, Tova Martin, Jesse Mabry, Benjamin Pioso, Ellen Pendleton, Diane Place, Edward Siegel, Robert Shapiro, Lorraine Taylor, Richard Tracy, Elena Witter, Gil Williams, Sebastian Zapita, and Brian Zabel.
Alan Sonnenfeld, Fred Concord, Stephen Horowitz,
Brian Zabel,
Jerry Wenger, Charlene Woodette,
Douglas Williams.
Dwayne Muller, Stu Amish,
Grace Davis, Becky Brown.
Glenn Posner, Rosalie Burns.
Any other names? Give them renewed comfort and courage, strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked with theirs. Baruch atah Adonai B'Fe'ach Olim, we praise you, God, the source of healing and health. Amen. this morning, and I will be calling people up to the Torah for the blessings by their Hebrew names and their English names. Jonathan will be reading all four of the portions, and he is reading from the Torah portion Korah for this Shabbat. He's not starting right at the beginning, but a little bit into it, and he will be talking to us more about it a little bit later. You can follow the Torah blessings in your prayer books on page 368. Ya'amdu Yitzchak ben Yehoshua v'Tova v'Meira bat Moto v'Chana v'Meira Manas.
Torah.
Edun ki Adonai shalachani la'asot et kol ha'amasim ha'ele ki lo milini im kemot kol ha'adam kemotun alehem ufkadat kol ha'adam umpaket alehem lo Adonai shalachani ve'em Priya Ivra Adonai Ufasa Ha'adama Et Pia Uva Otam Ve'et Kol Asher Lehem Vayardu Hayim Shelah Ve'yedetem Ki Niyatsu Ha'anashim Ha'ele Et Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chaye olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Yamar Bar Mitzvah Zeh, Yamar Yochanan Chaim Ben Zev Yehuti, Chazah V'Chazah, Jonathan Mark Shapiro.
Baruch et Adonai Hamdollah. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, ve'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Vayehi haseloto ledaber et kol hadvarim ha'ele latibata ha'adama asher tachtehem lativtach ha'aretz et pia lativla otam ve'et batehem ve'et kol ha'adam asher lekorach ve'et kol harmush vayardu ha'hem v'chol asher lehem hayim shelah vatechas alehem ha'aretz Vayedeber mitov hakahal v'chol Israel asher sevivotehem natsu l'kolam ki anu pen tivaenu ha'aretz v'esh gatsa v'et Adonai v'tocha et hahamishim u'metayim ish makarivei hakatoret. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
At this time, I would like to ask for Brad and Stephanie Shapiro to come up to read the English of the portion we just heard.
Then the presence of the Eternal appeared to the whole community. And the Eternal one spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, Stand back from this community, that I may annihilate them in an instant. But they fell on their faces and said, O God, source of breath of all flesh, when one member sins, you will be wrathful with the whole community. Speak to the community and say, Withdraw from about the abodes of Paran, Dathan, and Abiram. Moses rose and went to Dathan and Abiram, and elders of Israel following him. He addressed the community, saying, Move away from the tents of the wicked fellows, and touch nothing that belongs to them, lest you be wiped out for all their sins. So they withdrew from all the abodes of Paran, Dathan, and Abiram.
Now Dathan and Abiram had come out, and they stood at the entrance of their tents, with their wives, their children, and their little ones. And Moses said, By this you shall know that it was the Eternal who sent me to do all these things, that they are not of my own devising. If these people's death is that of all humankind, if their lot is humankind's common fate, it was not the Eternal who sent me. But if the Eternal brings about something unheard of, so that the ground opens its mouth and swallows them up with all that belongs to them, and they shall go down alive into Sheol, You shall know that these fellows have spurned the Eternal. Scarcely had he finished speaking all these words when the ground under them burst asunder, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with their households, all Korah's people and all their possessions. They went down alive into Sheol with all that belonged to them. The earth closed over them, and they vanished from the midst of the congregation. All Israel around them fled at their shrieks, for they said, the earth might swallow us. And a fire went forth from the Eternal and consumed the 250 notables offering the incense.
At this time, I would like to ask David Fuller to come forward. He's going to lift the Torah. We're going to turn in our prayer books to page 370, and I'd like to invite Stephanie, Mark Arthur, Sam, Jake, and Drew Shapiro to come up as they're going to help with addressing the Torah. Please rise. Please be seated. Jonathan's going to continue in just a moment with the Haftorah, which is a section from the prophets that has a thematic connection to the Torah portion. There's a bit more of a description, I believe, in your booklet of the Haftorah. You can find the Haftorah blessings in your prayer books on page 372.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'neviim tovim ratzav v'divrehem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah u'b'moshe avdo u'b'Yisrael amo u'b'midei ha'emet v'tzedek. Vayomer Shmuel el kol Yisrael hinei shmati lekolchem lechol asher amartem li v'amlich alechem melech v'atah hinei hamelech mithalech lifnechem v'ani zikanti v'savti uvenai hinam itchem v'ani hitalachti lifnechem minurai ad hayom hazeh. Hineni anu v'neged Adonai v'neged משכו את שור מי לקחתי בחמור מי לקחתי ואת מי עשקתי את מי ארצותי ומיד מי לקחתי. כופר ואלים עיני בו ואשיב לכם. ויאמרו לא עשקתנו ולא רצותנו ולא לקחת מיד איש מאומה. ויאמר עליהם עד אדוני לכם ועד משיחו היום הזה כי לא מצאתם בידי מאומה. ויאמר שמואל אל העם אדוני אשר עשה את משה ואת אהרון ואשר העלה את אבותיכם מארץ מצרים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם צור כל העולמים צדיק בכל הדורות האל הנאמן האומר ועושה המדבר ומקיים שכל דבריו אמת וצדק על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה לכבוד ולתפארת על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Then Samuel said to all Israel, I have listened to your pleas and done everything you asked for, and set a king over you. From now on, the king will be your leader. As for me, I am old and gray. My sons are among you, and I have been your leaders since my youth. Here I am. Testify against me in the presence of the Eternal, and in the presence of God's anointed. Have I taken anyone's ox or anyone's donkey? Have I maltreated or oppressed anyone? Have I taken a bribe to turn a blind eye to anyone? Tell me, and I will return. They answered, You have not maltreated or oppressed us. You have taken nothing from anyone. He said to them, Then the Eternal is witness, and God's anointed is witness this day, that you have found nothing sticking to my hand. They answered, Witness? And Samuel said to them, The Eternal is witness, the one who chose Moses and Aaron and brought your ancestors out of Egypt. Now stand here and in the presence of God.
We continue now with returning the Torah to the Ark. I'd like to invite David and Madeline Fuller to come up as we rise and return in our prayer books to page 370. Adonai Kiristav Shemot Abadov. Let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted. Please be seated.
My Torah portion, Korah, numbers 16 through 18, is split into three parts: the rebellion, the aftermath, and the priestly responsibilities. The rebellion is the part of the portion I read from the Torah. Korah, Datan, and Abiram led a rebellion against Moses and Aaron. They accused Moses and Aaron of acting better than the rest of the Israelites. Moses tells Korah, who is also a Levite, a priest, that God will choose who is holy by accepting or rejecting their incense in a fire pan. Moses tries to speak with Korah to work out his problem, but Korah refuses to come out. The next morning, Moses offers his fire pan and God appears. God threatens to destroy the entire community, but Moses pleads for the safety of the people. The Israelites are told to withdraw from Korah, Datan, and Abiram. Moses tells the people that if the rebels die an unforeseen death, then this means that Moses is God's chosen leader. The ground opens and swallows all of Korah's people, and 250 rebels perish. Their fire pans are proclaimed sacred and are collected by Eleazar the priest. Following the rebellion and the deaths of the rebels, the people protest that Moses and Aaron bear responsibility for the deaths of the rebels. God becomes angry and prepares to obliterate the Israelites. not accepting that it was God who killed the rebels, not Moses. Moses tells Aaron to go to the people and intervene. Those who Aaron reaches are saved from God's plague. But unfortunately, 14,700 Israelites died. I was challenged, as well as we all are, to find how the Torah portion can relate to me and my world today. This applies to the world today because people still challenge authority. Sometimes it's okay to challenge authority if you do it in a calm, reasonable way. Korah and his followers challenged authority, but they did so in an unreasonable way. Moses asked the rebels to come out to talk, to try to find a way to solve their dilemma. However, Korah and the others simply refused to speak with Moses. Korah didn't want to find a solution to benefit the people. He wanted to find a solution that would give him power. An example of how it is okay to challenge authority is in the way of which Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, and Gandhi did. They did not encourage others to break out in violence. Instead, they boycotted and persuaded people through speech. These are all peaceful ways to challenge authority while still making a statement. In America's early stages, the colonists were greedy to expand the country and gain land. In 1830, President Andrew Jackson passed the Indian Removal Act, which demanded to move all Indians west of the Mississippi River. 70,000 Indians were moved away from their homelands. Some were split from their families, while others didn't even make the trip west of the Mississippi River and died of disease. One tribe of the Indians, the Seminole, refused to move. They fought back and started the Second Seminole War of 1835, where both Americans and Indians were killed. This relates to my Torah portion because the colonists challenged the Indians in an unfair way and didn't try to work out their problem. They used force and gave the Indians no choice but to move or fight back. This past summer, after one of my favorite teachers, Shalom Shoer, was diagnosed with cancer, my classmates and I decided to raise money for cancer research. We sold Bisco's Italian salsa and raised $500 towards research about the BRCA gene. Shalom fought off his cancer and is a cancer survivor. Last year, my aunt, uncle, and cousins in Minneapolis hosted two 14-year-old soccer players from Haiti for 1 month through an organization called the Sandy Foundation. One of these boys is my new cousin, Mark Arthur. The Sandy Foundation, run by Tony Sandy, a professional soccer player who played in the World Cup, brought a team of 14-year-olds from Haiti to play in the USA Cup, an international soccer tournament in Minnesota. The foundation also runs a program in Haiti where the kids play soccer 6 days a week and have a hot, nutritious meal after they play. A requirement of this program is to attend school and stay out of trouble. I thought this organization was a great way to help those in need, so I decided to raise money to send one child to America for a month and play in the USA Cup. I ended up raising over $1,500 with the help of my mom. We did an assortment of things to reach our goal by selling used clothing and household items at secondhand stores. I also collected cans and bottles and wrote letters to our congregation to encourage people to donate. I sold wristbands at school along with my best business, which was selling gum for ridiculous prices of 25 to 50 cents a piece, or $3 a pack. This year, the Sandy Foundation is bringing a 13-year-old team to the USA Cup, and my donation will pay travel expenses for one player. Thank you for supporting this project with me. I would like to thank all my religious school teachers, Ms. Sines, Ms. Artis, Ms. Hammer, Moralana, and Ms. Stasia, for helping me prepare for this day. Thank you, Orly and Shalom, for studying with me at Barnes & Noble, and I'm looking forward to continuing in Kollel with you. Thank you to all my Hebrew classmates for making class fun and enjoyable. You guys are the best. And thank you, Rabbi Bardo, for taking me step by step through the service. Avi, you are the coolest person I know, and I cannot ask for a better brother. You may be really good at the piano, but please get off it by 11 p.m. Mom, thank you for taking care of me when I'm injured and sick, which is a lot. Dad, thank you for always being the fun one of the family and doing things with me that Mom would most likely not allow. Mom and Dad, you guys are always there for me no matter what. You help me through all my tough times and struggles. You are the best parents ever, and I love you. And last but not least, thank you to all my friends and families for supporting me. Shabbat Shalom.
You don't get to sit down yet. At this time, I'd like to ask your Uncle David to come up and talk a little bit more about the project
sigh of relief and calm down. Now, I should be nervous because you just stole half my speech. So, but I do want to talk a little bit about Jonathan's Mitzvah project, and congratulations. You know, one of the many great things about being a Jew is learning at an early age about giving back to those in need, to those in the community, and you learn it at a very early age, whether it be in preschool with tzedakah boxes, mitzvah projects with bar mitzvahs, and throughout life. And it wasn't surprising to me at all to learn that you were working hard to give back to others as well as a part of your mitzvah project. And people give for many reasons, and to many different organizations, but I was impressed with what you gave to, how you gave, and why you gave. First, many don't give until after the bar mitzvah. They wait, they receive some of the gifts, and they take a portion of their money and give some of that. But you were very proactive in how you went about that. And I thought that was very impressive. And you talked about selling things. I'm trying to figure out how many plastic bottles you must have sold or given, used and recycled, 6 cents a piece to make, whatever it was, over $1,500, which is more impressive. And thank you to everyone here and outside of here who gave to your cause as well. Second, your choice of giving to the Sounding Foundation, and specifically the Haitian Initiative within the Sounding Foundation, really combined two very important values. One is about family, and one is about passions. And this is the first actual tallit I've ever seen in my life with soccer on it, World Cup soccer, as a matter of fact, specifically on it. And obviously you have a lot of passion around soccer, and obviously family is extremely something important to you. The Haitian Initiative, as you already mentioned, is a program regarding World Cup soccer player Tony Sana, and he has created a program specifically within City Soleil, Haiti, one of the poorest countries, poorest cities in the world, and he has created a soccer field down in Haiti, in which he has brought his kids and created community coaches for these kids, and then obviously also a meal, as we talked about, one of potentially the only meals that some of these children will get in a day. And as you know, and some in the room know, our family was recently fortunate enough to meet one of these wonderful children last summer, Mark Arthur, and almost exactly a year ago to this date. And we have been very fortunate enough to welcome him lovingly into our family, and not only our family, but our community as well. In so many ways, Jonathan, I'm proud of you for what you've done, the initiative that you took. In fact, just this Thursday, the kids that he was talking about, and that he actually brought over one of these kids, one of these 20 children, and a handful of coaches just arrived in Minneapolis, and the Schwann's Cup actually starts. So you have brought so much to these children, and obviously to one individual child, to bring them over for 30 days, and they don't just get to play soccer, they get to experience the tournament, they get to experience life in so many ways of American life, and look at what hope and dreams are about, and hopefully create an opportunity for themselves. So you should be extremely proud. For that, we are proud of you. We thank you. I know the kids are very thankful for what you've done, and the Sounding Foundation thanks you as well. So I look forward to seeing your continued giving and generosity in the future. Congratulations, Muslim.
It's your mom and your dad's turn.
Jonathan, your Torah portion today can have significant meaning for you in terms of how you see the role of a leader and the purpose of leadership. You're a natural-born leader. You lead by example and have been chosen by staff at school to sit on 2 student council committees next year. You set high goals for yourself and follow through with the steps to achieve these goals. Whether in sports or at a fundraiser, you work tirelessly to accomplish your goals.
Jonathan, in addition, you are a peacemaker. In part, this is because you have insight into people and are able to see both sides of a conflict. You always find the best in others and use your kindness and intelligence to find solutions to problems. Our hope is that you use these special gifts to lead in the spirit of Moses and Aaron for the greater good of the people in the community that surrounds you.
We are truly grateful for the guidance and warmth you've encountered here at Temple Concord. Thank you, Orly and Shalom, for preparing Jonathan for this day in a way that has made learning about Judaism both fun and meaningful. Thank you, Rabbi Barbara, for your spiritual direction and for the strong Jewish foundation you provide here at Temple Concord.
Thank you to all of the religious school teachers for the time and creativity you have put into teaching throughout Jonathan's years in the religious school. Thank you, Amy, for your input and your spiritual advice as well. Finally, thank you to our families and friends who have supported Jonathan and our immediate family along the way.
Jonathan, on this day of your bar mitzvah, with tremendous joy and pride, in the presence of friends, family, and congregation, we offer you this blessing.
May you have peace.
May you always be surrounded by people who love you.
May you have good health.
May you have the courage and strength to face hardship.
May you be wise in deeds.
May you continue to make the world a better place through the joy you bring to others and through acts of love and kindness.
May you always keep your sense of humor.
May you find a career and life path that you love and that has meaning. Your dad is going to read a quote from Rabbi Sandy Eisenberg-Sasso.
May the voices of the generations of our people move through you, and may the God of our ancestors be your God as well. May you know that there is a people, a rich heritage to which you belong, and from that sacred place you are connected to all who dwell on earth. May the stories of our people be upon your heart, and the grace of the Torah rhythm dance in your soul.
Jonathan, you have a heart of gold. As you go out in the world as a young man, we hope you continue in the path you have already set out upon. We love you more than words can say.
May God smile upon you, bathe you in sunlight, and embrace you with love.
Please join with us as we sing the Shapiro prayer together, thanking God for allowing us all to be able to be together with Julie, with Jared, with Jonathan, and family to celebrate this special Simcha.
Amen.
who's also a rabbi and one of my colleagues, and I want to invite Amy Memes-Fuller is come forward, as she is going to share some words to Jonathan. And it's great to be able to have her here with us, and for those of you who knew her as she grew up here, I'm sure it's great for you to have her back. I know it is for everybody as well.
First, I want to thank Rabbi Motel for the honor and pleasure of speaking on the Bima with you, Jonathan, and having the opportunity to offer you some words of blessing. You know, this Bima is a very special place. On this Bima, your mom and dad were married. I and Uncle Dave were married on this Bima. Your mom became a Bat Torah here. I became a Bat Mitzvah here. Avi became a Bar Mitzvah here, and now it's your turn. You become a Bar Mitzvah today. Jonathan, our Torah portion this morning, Torah, discusses the challenge of leadership, as you mentioned earlier, powers and authority. It reminds me of a story about leadership. And the story is about a snake. Once there was a talking snake. For years and years, the snake crawled over the face of the earth. It slithered up tree trunks, around large rocks, and through tall grass. Quietly, without protest, the tail faithfully followed the rest of the body, until one day it had enough. Wait just a minute, the tail called. I'm not budging from this spot. What do you mean you're not budging from this spot, replied the head. Come on, we have places to go. Stop this foolishness and let's go. But the tail would not move. What's the matter? Asked the head, anxious to find out what this was all about. I'll tell you what's the matter, snapped the tail. It was quite angry, and its tone of voice was harsh. For all these years, I followed you. I've gone wherever you wanted to go. We've gone through muddy marshes and freezing cold streams. We've traveled over hot rocks and across rough wilderness. I am tired of following you all the time. Maybe it's time you follow me for a change. Follow you? Exclaimed the head distantly. Heads don't follow tails. That's not the way it was meant to be. Do you have eyes to lead you? Do you have a tongue which searches the air for the scent of food or danger? Do you have a mouth to swallow the nourishment needed to survive? Oh, none of that matters, answered the tail. All that matters is I will not budge until you have allowed me to lead for a while. So the head gave in to the tail's demand. The trouble surfaced right away. No sooner had the tail begun to lead than it bumbled its way into a thorn bush. Each thorn tore into its hide and left deep cuts. What are you doing? Cried the head of the pig. Just be quiet and let me lead, the tail called back. Finally, out of the thorn bush, they next followed into the nest of a mother bird and its babies. Now, without its tongue, the tail was not able to smell the scent of the birds, and into the nest it went. You can imagine the mother bird's reaction. She flapped her wings in anger. She jumped up and down on the snake and picked at it with her sharp beak, tearing it with her claws. Somehow, the snake was able to make it out of the nest alive, but it was sore and bruised. How much of this suffering do you want us to put us through? Moaned the head to the tail. Isn't this pain enough? Please, please, let me do the leading. You'll wind up killing us at this rate. No, I can do a better job than you did all these years. I just need some time to get used to leading, not following. The tail refused to give the lead, and so he went on to enter the woods. The snake was now hungry and in search of food. It slithered along, not finding food, but neither had it fallen into nests or thorns, and so the head considered itself plucked. As it pulled through the forest, its head detected the odor of something burning, and so it decided to turn around and look ahead. And it saw a bonfire blazing just 10 feet ahead. Stop, it called to the tail, which was proceeding blindly, of course, toward the fire. There's a fire ahead, stop or we'll fall into flames. So, Jonathan, what do you think the tail did? twice. But we can get to it once for A or B. A is that the tail kept leading them into the fire, or B, that the tail stopped and listened to the head of the snake and didn't go to the fire. All in favor of the tail led the snake into the fire, raise your hands. Okay, hands down. All those in favor of the tail stopped and saved the snake's life. I would say the majority of the people agree in this congregation, but it's definitely a split vote. So I'll tell you that the traditional ending of the story tells, you ready? How the tail ignored the warnings. The tail thought that this was just a trick. That the head was tricking it into leading once again. So the tail, refusing to be duped, led the snake toward the fire, and then it was too late. But there's another ending to the story. Stop, stop, the head called to the tail, which was proceeding blindly toward the fire. There's a fire ahead, stop, or we will fall into the flames. And here's the second ending, or the other ending. And the tail realized the sincerity of the head's cries. It was no trick, but rather a serious warning to keep the whole snake alive. The tail stopped in its tracks, and having realized its boastful ways, it said to the head, "I'm sorry. Look what I've done to us. I've bruised and scratched us, and I've almost scorched us. I am not fit to lead, but you are. Take me where you believe we should go, and I promise I will always follow." Jonathan, in this second ending, the tail admits to its limitations and learns an important lesson about leadership. There are those who are fit to be positive and strong leaders in this world, and others who are not. The head was, the snake was not. Moses and Aaron were, Korah was not. Korah's desire to lead, like the snake's tail, came from selfishness, not from a place of knowledge or skill, nor from being a natural leader, granted with God-given gifts to lead. Jonathan, you are like the head. You are a natural leader, as your parents already mentioned, which is not only recognized by friends and family, but your teachers as well, as they mentioned. Throughout your future, may you take these leadership skills and use them in positive ways that direct you toward constructive causes like you did with your Mitzvah project. And leadership is just one of the good qualities. There are other character traits you possess that can be reflected in an acrostic of your Hebrew name. Your Hebrew name is? So Yochanan is after Gadi. That's your mom and my grandmother. And her name was Anna, and Hebrew it was Hannah. So you're Yochanan. And then your middle name, Chaim, was after Gadi's sister, Jen. So if we spell out your Hebrew name in an acrostic is taking the first letter of each of your name, and you put another word to it, you get this acrostic. Yud, for Yochanan. Yafet. The word Yafet in Hebrew means beautiful. But it's not just outside people. It's that inner beauty that you have as well. Vav, which makes the O sound, stands for Vadah, which means certainty. You carry yourself with grace and confidence and show assuredness in so much that you do. The letter Chet stands for Chaver. John, you are a loyal and fun friend. The word Chaver means friend. You're a terrific teammate, and you enjoy making your friends laugh. By the way, Chet also is for you, which means smile. You've got a great smile, and you've been smiling a lot this morning. Nun stands for nigun, and nigun is a melody. John, whether it's singing or dancing when you were younger or playing the guitar, your melody is sometimes sweet, sometimes loud, and sometimes silly. And there's a final one. Nun's also for neshama, which means soul. There's a Yiddish expression to call someone a good neshama, which means that that person, or rather is, a good soul. You are a good neshama. And Chet, for Chaim, stands for chesed. Compassion, for kindness. You are extremely kind and caring and thoughtful of others. Yod, again, can also mean yotzei. The word yotzei means outgoing, and you reach out to others in need. Final men, men is for mensch. What more can I say? These Hebrew words, yafeh, badai, chaver, nigun, shama, chesed, yotzeh, and mensch, help describe the person you are now. And as you grow into the person you will become. Mazel tov, Yochanan Chaya. On your various accomplishments of today, it is my honor on this simcha to offer you this blessing from our tradition. Shapiro, Havotenu, Imotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. Hu yivarech et Yochanan Chaim ben Zev ben Yehudit, shehibyanu lemitzvot ve'alta likvod ha'makom likvod ha'torah ve'likvod Shabbat. May God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless Jonathan Mark Shapiro, son of Jared and Julie, who has come for an aliyah on reaching the age of mitzvot, with reverence for God and respect for Torah and Shabbat. May God protect and sustain Jonathan, help him to be wholehearted in his faith, to study Torah and fulfill mitzvot, and to walk in God's ways. May his parents rear him to maturity, guiding John to the blessings of Torah, God, and a life of not seen to lead good deeds. And may he find favor before God with human beings. And let us all say, Amen.
Please rise as we're going to bless Jonathan for the peace of age.
God, may God bless you and keep you. May God's radiance shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God's presence be with you always and give you peace. And let us all say,
Please be seated. I'd like to invite Judy Osborne to come forward as she has some presentations on behalf of the congregation.
There's a fact to follow, but I'm honored on behalf of the Temple Concord Board of Trustees, just to congratulate you first for leading us so well today. You did an amazing job. You are a positive and energetic person, and the people that I'm sitting with, and I agree with them, said that we think you had more fun up here than any bar bat mitzvah in some time. So from the very beginning, we could tell that you were having a good time, and it was nice to see. You're always smiling, and what struck me is I just remember when you broke your back and you're still coming on Saturday morning, and you came to the building with a big smile on your face. Even with, that just kind of defines who you are, as your family members have said. You're always smiling, looking around because it looks like you like my jokes, which puts you in the minority, but you have enthusiasm and optimism, and you have it in the Mitzvah project, you have it preparing for today, you have it in soccer, and these are traits that make you a success, that have made you a success, and I know they will in the future. I can't wait to see what you do with that. So I'm honored to present you with gifts from both Temple Concord and the Sisterhood of Temple Concord. The first is a Tanakh or Bible, which will include your Torah portion, and you may use it as a reference, like let's say you can only remember 9 out of 10 commandments. There's a traveling version of the prayer book that you can carry with you. And as someone who has traveled to many places with leaders, you can travel all over the world. You go into the synagogue, they will speak Hebrew, and you'll recognize the prayers, and you may even recognize the melody. So that's something that you can take with you through our country and through the world.
And hopefully one of the places in the world that you'll go will be to Israel. And you know that my son and your friend went this year to Israel, and it made a huge impact on them. And I hope that someday you will have the opportunity to travel. And one of the gifts that we give you today is a $250 gift certificate towards the Nifty trip. So that's one opportunity, and there are many other opportunities. And just knowing you, I think you would get a lot out of it and really enjoy that trip. Finally, there is a Kiddush cup. And I'm going to steal your teacher Shalom Shoer's words when he says, I hope that your cup is always full. And just to present proof to anyone who may question, you do get a bar mitzvah certificate that's signed by the rabbi and by orally by the presidents of the congregation. So, as someone who's watched you over the years, and it just, I was thrilled and smiling the whole time to see the way you did, and I congratulate you. I hope you have enthusiasm tonight on the dance floor also. And I wish you nothing but success, and also I say mazel tov to your family for such a wonderful day.
We are, in just a moment, we're going to get to our prayer books. I look forward to your continuing your studies with us and with your classmate as we conclude our 3-day-a-week program with 7th grade. And you've already been in our evening program. As you sort of were in 2 different of our Hebrew school classes, they are both here. So you get to be with both of them together with you on Thursdays with Shalom and then with myself in our continued studies together. Our service will now continue in our prayer books on page, we are with the Aleinu on page 586. Page 586, and we're going to be using the text that you'll find in the middle of the page. Please rise. We continue in our prayer books on page 591. May we gain wisdom in our lives overflowing like a river with understanding, love each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Together, rise up like the Son of God over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. Turn in our prayer books to page 598. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost. The martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. The family especially remembers the following people who are with us in spirit today: Max and Anna Burstein, Tilly and Oscar Memis, Jessica and Arthur Bernstein, and Helen and Abraham Shapiro. We also read the names of those in our community who have died during the past month. Betty Goldstein, mother of David, Andy, and Bruce Goldstein. The service will be tomorrow at 11 in the morning. Ronnie Brimberg Clark, wife of Skip Clark, mother of Jason Clark. Al Wynn, Neil Portnoy's brother-in-law, and Marge Adler, Neil's aunt. We also read the names of the following whose yahrzeits occur at this time. And if you are observing the yahrzeit, or if you're in mourning, you can stand when I read the name and then or stand right afterwards. G. Robert Valhart, Stanley Aronowitz, Murray Eisen, Philip Gitlin, Samuel Golden, Sarah Goldstein, Murray Green, Elia Herman, Benjamin Larkey, Irma Larkey, Isabella Presser Major, Dorothy Price, Rebecca Platsky, Deborah Shapiro, Bessie Lewis Stemmerman, Ida Etkin Unger. We also add the names of the slain civil rights activist Andrew Goodman, James Chaney, and Michael Schwerner. This the 50th anniversary of their deaths as they were freedom riders in the South, registering Black people to vote. We now all rise as together we recite the words of the mourner's covenant. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabal, B'yalma, Divrah, Hirute, B'yamlich Malchute, B'chayei Chom, B'yomei Chom, B'chayei T'chol Beit Yisrael, B'agalah, B'zman Kariv, B'yimru Amen, Yehei Shemei Rabal, B'barach, Le'olam, L'onei Olayah, Yitbarach, B'yishtabach, B'yitpapar, B'yitramal, B'yitaseh, B'yitadar, B'yitaleh, B'yitalal, Shemei B'yishah, B'ritu, Le'elam, B'yikol, Birchata, B'shirata, Tushbachata, B'nechemata, Damiran, B'yalam, B'yimru Amen, Yehei Shlama Rabba, B'yishmaya, B'chayim Aleinu, B'yakol Yisrael, B'yimru Amen, Oseh Shalom B'ramav, U'yachaseh Shalom, Aleinu B'yakol Yisrael, B'yimru Amen. May the source of peace and peace to those who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved, and together we say, Amen. Please be seated. Our closing song for the service is a request of the family. It is a Debbie Friedman song, The World of Your Dreams. And so if you do know it, or if you want to hum with us, you can. Below your altar choir will be singing that special song that was the request that they had for our service. Following the closing song, please remain at your seats for the benediction, and then let the family come forward and we'll make motzi and kiddush here on the bima. So then you will all be invited, once the family gets to go out first to greet you, to move into the social hall for kiddush together, and a time to be more sociable with one another, and to enjoy the continuation of our celebration of Shabbat.
May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your days be radiant as the brightness of the star. May your lips speak words of wisdom, and may the world you live in be a world
give strength to your people. God bless your people with shalom, with peace. Amen. Shabbat shalom.